Hey guys, Drifter here. Today I have a philosophical commentary for you about thought monsters. This one isn't really related to the Call of Duty gameplay you're seeing, which is Black Ops 3, or any of the previous videos on my channel. It's just one of those philosophical things I like to do, something I want to talk about, something that's just been on my mind lately. It's based on the thought germs, or This Video Will Make You Angry video by CGP Grey, which I would highly recommend that you watch. I have an annotation on the video right now you can click that's going to open in a new window. It's also linked down there in the description. It'll make the rest of this make a lot more sense, but I know some of you aren't going to watch it, so I'm going to give you a quick TLDR. That video says that you can treat ideas kind of like they're little germs, or like living beings in your head that are subject to the same laws of evolution or natural selection that everything else did. The strong ones live and the weak ones die. Good ideas survive and are passed on to other people. Bad ideas are forgotten, they die out, they go extinct, and sometimes even our bad behaviors or stupid ideas or stereotypes are just very successful thought germs, or very successful thoughts in general, kind of surviving in this sort of thought ecosystem environment in your head up here. And it's interesting. Again, I'd highly recommend you take a look at it, but here comes the what if part of the video. What if there are such things as thought monsters? And I want to make this very different. This is different from a normal thought. This is different from the little thought germs or the little memes or the fads that come and go. I chose the word monster because it is specifically a scary, alien, difficult to understand, and oftentimes destructive being. What if there are thought monsters? What if there are thoughts or ideas that are incredibly destructive to human beings, and they're not like forever locked into one person? It's not like one person gets a thought monster popping up in their head and it's forever that way, but it kind of jumps from host to host. It spreads around more kind of like a fatal parasite or a thought parasite of sorts. And imagine the suffering that's caused in this world by old or hateful thoughts that get passed down from generation to generation. That's one way I thought this process could work, because ultimately, even if you hate your parents or don't like them or don't get along with them, you do pick up some of their morals, some of their values. You learn from them. Some of the things that you learn from them are passed down, and some of these things, racial hate, stereotyping, problem solving via conflict instead of diplomacy or abuse. It's kind of strange that children that are abused often grow up to be abusive themselves, which seems counterintuitive, but that's how it works. And that could be a type of thought monster that exists, that jumps from generation to generation or person to person, or they could even jump across groups or countries, such as, you have these bad sort of thought monsters, all this hate and violence, you take it out on another person, and in taking out on them, the thought monster jumps from your head, all that kind of into theirs, and it turns into revenge, and then revenge, and you rinse and repeat, and it goes over and over again. And they're successful because they survive and they prey on us, kind of like orders of the food chain. They push out the other ideas and they just kind of get locked in your head. And a person could theoretically overcome this by slaying these thought monsters, or parasites. Parasites is probably a better name for them. And once you mentally slay them, you free your mind of this sort of badness. You're free of them, but you have to do this over and over and over again, because there are probably quite a few out there in this world, and you have to do this. You have to get good at this. You have to teach other people how to do this, what's good, what's bad. And if you take this too far, if you go down this kind of weird, scary path, you're going to find yourself in a land of far left thought police, which is kind of like radical socialism, like as far left as you can get, for trying to police your mind to an extent. And that's a very bad attitude to have. That's not a healthy way to live. So is it maybe good to have one or two thought monsters? I'm not sure. It's a very theoretical thing, and I don't know where this one goes. I don't know where it ends up. I don't know what my point in this video was, but it's just been something that I've been thinking about recently after watching the CGP Grey video. Just something that's been in my head, keeping me up at night, and I kind of wanted to hear what you think about it. It's a philosophical video. Not all of them have perfect answers or perfect solutions. It's almost like high thoughts with Drifter today. I know, I do jokes all around, but just kind of something I've been thinking about. I thought it would at least enlighten you to maybe think about these things, and tell me what you think about it down there below in the comments. I'm curious to hear if you think my idea has any validity in any kind of way, and if so, any kind of practical application, any kind of use, or just kind of anything in general. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned at least a little bit something useful. Please go check out CGP Grey's video, and as always, if you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like and subscribe. Drifter out.